When a person runs, jumps, accelerates, cuts, or stops, their shoes exert intense repetitive forces, known as shear, on the bottom and edges of their feet. These shear forces cause skin trauma and discomfort, commonly in the form of blisters and hot spots. To demonstrate the shearing stress and strains that the skin and soft tissues are subjected to during one of these vigorous maneuvers, we have cut a window in the shoe and sock and drawn reference lines on the foot. While this video demonstrates the shear forces exerted on a foot when a runner stops, similar forces are exerted on feet when running, accelerating, or cutting, but in different directions. It is important to note that the shear forces increase as the level of activity increases. Additionally, our focus is on multiple cycle abrasion trauma, not single cycle abrasion trauma, such as rug burn or road rash. When pressure and friction forces repeatedly exceed safe limits, the accumulation of rubbing-induced microtrauma causes pain and macrotrauma. With this view, it is easy to see that the skin and soft tissue directly under the metatarsal heads are at risk because of high tissue shear stresses. Notice how the line becomes distorted and curves as the user comes to a stop. This is a visual representation of the shear forces feet experience when stopping. Now look what happens when a low-friction PTFE interface with ShearBan technology is strategically placed on the insole under the at-risk tissue. Notice how the addition of the interface allows the line to move forward with much less distortion. With the addition of the interface, the friction-induced shear forces within the high-risk skin and soft tissues are controlled, and do not reach the higher, more damaging levels each cycle. It is not rubbing per se that creates trauma and discomfort. It is actually the high shear stresses caused by friction prior to sliding that determine how fast the microtrauma accumulates. The minimization of the shear forces prevents blisters, hot spots, and other forms of skin trauma, which allows a person to remain active and train harder, faster, and longer. ShearBan technology is developed and manufactured in the USA by Tamarack Rehabilitation Technologies. For more information, visit www.tamarakhti.com.